In this video, you will learn about using the laser room, including the name and purpose of each machine, as well as some basic safety guidelines. Lasers are used to cut and engrave a variety of materials. Sample projects might include engraving logos on glassware or cutting wood to build a birdhouse. The Epilogue sample library has some basic patterns to get you started. There are 4 lasers in the laser room. The Epilogue FiberMark Fusion is a 50-watt fiber laser and is used for etching and annealing different metals. The Epilogue Fusion MT40, known as Big Blue, is a 120-watt CO2 laser cutter and engraver. The Epilogue Helix 24, known as Little Blue or the Helix, is a 75-watt CO2 laser cutter and engraver. Cylindrical materials can be used in this machine with the aid of a rotary attachment. The Universal Laser, also known as Big Red, is a standard large format 75-watt CO2 laser. Consult the Laser Room Reference Guide or the Laser's Manual before using a material in any of the machines. There are some basic safety guidelines for using the laser room. Keep the area around the laser free of clutter. Do not place combustible materials, explosives, or volatile solvents near the machine. Vacuum and empty the laser's bed after each use to avoid a fire hazard. Be careful when removing the bed, as the grid may be sharp. Always inspect the laser's lens for damage before each use. If the lens are used while dirty, the residue can cause the lens to heat up and crack, leading to an expensive repair. All of the lasers are focused manually. Never attempt to focus the laser automatically unless specifically trained to do so. Always use the system's air assist feature when vector cutting. This is a nozzle that directs compressed air at the focal point of the laser. Air assist helps to prevent flare-ups where the material you are cutting or engraving catches fire. It also removes burnt material and smoke from the path of the laser for a cleaner cut. Turn on the compressed air before you start cutting and turn it off when you're finished. Never close the air vents for the laser equipment. Closing the vents will not help your job and can cause significant damage to the equipment and facility. During the engraving process, materials can produce irritating smoke or even produce compounds that may be harmful if concentrated. The switch beside Big Red, the universal laser, controls the blower and should be turned on before every cut. Wear ear protection while the exhaust fan is turned on. Never operate the system while the doors are open or with any of the enclosures removed. The laser beam is invisible and dangerous. When a laser is vectoring, it must be supervised at all times because of the risk of fire. If you need to leave temporarily, press stop to pause the job and leave a note. If you see an unattended job that is vectoring on the laser, press stop and notify the person who is operating the machine. The job can easily be resumed by pressing go. Use caution when vector cutting. Vectoring cuts through the material, which may create sparks or ignite the material. Should you need to use it, there is a fire extinguisher just inside the entrance and an eye wash station beside the blower switch. If a fire starts in a laser, don't panic. Stop the job, close the blast gate, and turn off the air assist and exhaust systems. This should smother most fires without needing to use the extinguisher. Report any fires to the shopkeeper, as there may be damage to the machine. In this video, you learned about the equipment in the laser room and how to operate it safely.